Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Sunday, January 22nd, 2023, and giving you our team picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. The Michigan State Spartans visit Simmons Scott Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana on Sunday for a Big Ten tilt with the Indiana Hoosiers. Michigan State improved to 13-6 overall and 5-3 in Big Ten play following its 70-57 victory over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights on Thursday. Michigan State snapped a 2-game losing streak with a victory and has won 8 of the last 10. This one is going to be a clash of teams that are looking to make an impact in the Big Ten. Indiana has managed to win 2 straight games after a 3-game slide, but missing both Thompson and Johnson is a tough blow for the team. It really impacts the Hoosiers' depth and makes it challenging should foul trouble become an issue. Michigan State got back in the win column as they took down Rutgers at home, and they have had success recently against Indiana. Our team pick is Michigan State Spartans plus 4.5 points. The Spartans have a trio of solid scoring options to work with, even without Hall in the mix. Jackson Davis does everything he can to help Indiana here, but in the end, Tom Izzo and the Spartans find a way to scratch out a victory on the road. Michigan Wolverines vs Minnesota Golden Gophers. Minnesota has been a terrible road team this season, winning just once in its last 13 games since last season. The Golden Gophers have consistently been priced as underdogs in league play, yet they have still covered the spread 3 times in their last 9 games. They are going to have trouble turning around their season on Sunday, as Michigan has won 16 of the last 20 meetings between these teams. Our team pick is Michigan minus 12.5 points. The Wolverines are better on both ends of the court and are not going to beat themselves with turnovers, which will make it difficult for Minnesota to spring an upset. Connecticut Huskies vs Butler Bulldogs. The Butler Bulldogs visit XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut on Sunday to play the number 15 ranked UConn Huskies in a Big East showdown. Butler dropped to 11-9 overall and 3-6 in Big East play, following its 73-52 loss to the Creighton Blue Jays on Tuesday. Butler has lost 3 of the last 4 and 6 of the last 9. The Bulldogs are already well off the pace in the Big East. The Huskies lost 5 of their last 6 games, but they have played well at home, where they have won 10 of their last 11 games. They have played very well offensively at home, scoring more than 84 points per game, while making 48. Cincinnati Bearcats vs Memphis Tigers. The Memphis Tigers visit Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati, Ohio on Sunday for an American Athletic Conference matchup against the Cincinnati Bearcats. Memphis improved to 14-5 overall and 4-2 in AAC play following its 88-78 victory over the Wichita State Shockers on Thursday. DeAndre Williams was the leading scorer for Memphis with 29 points. Memphis has won 2 straight and 3 of the last 4. Memphis is having problems covering the number as the Tigers have failed to cover each of the last 8, while Cincinnati has covered the nut in 7 of its last 10. Cincinnati has played very well on offense, averaging 77.3 points per game, and hits plenty of shots from behind the 3-point line, with a 3-point shooting percentage of 36.4%. Our team pick is Cincinnati Bearcats minus 2.5 points. Memphis is playing poorly on defense, allowing an average of 72.0 points per game. Purdue Boilermakers vs Maryland Terrapins. On Sunday, the Maryland Terrapins visit the number 3 ranked Purdue Boilermakers at Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, Indiana for a Big Ten showdown. Maryland improved to 12-6 overall and 3-4 in Big Ten play following its 64-58 victory over the Michigan Wolverines on Thursday. Jahmir Young was the leading scorer for Maryland with 26 points. Maryland has won 2 of its last 3. I think 11 is a lot of points, especially when these two teams tend to have low-scoring games, as it is, more on that below. Purdue is ranked 326th in Pomeroy's adjusted tempo, which means they don't play as many possessions per game as most teams. Fewer possessions mean fewer opportunities to increase the lead and get to the cover. That's a big reason as to why Maryland has covered in 6 of their last 7 games against each other, even though Purdue is 4-3 overall. While I see them struggling to find ways to score, the Terrapins' defense, holding opponents to 64.5 points per game, ranked 45th, should keep this game close down the stretch. Our team pick is Maryland Terrapins plus 11 points. I definitely still think the Boilermakers should walk away with a win, but TC's two-team style of play will help Maryland keep it close enough to cover. Siena Saints vs Fairfield Stags. The Fairfield Stags go back on the road Sunday to Albany, New York for a game against the Siena Saints. Fairfield comes into Sunday 2 games below .500 on the year, riding a 2-game win streak after a 9-point victory against Canisius. Defensively, Fairfield was the better team, allowing only 58 points on 41.1% shooting, and the Stags forced 13 turnovers to get the victory. Offensively, Fairfield did just enough, scoring 67 points, including 35 in the second half on 44.9% shooting from the floor. Siena has dominated this series recently, beating the Stags 9 straight times dating back to 2019. In their most recent matchup, Siena beat the Stags 70-61 in Fairfield's Leo D. Mahoney Arena on New Year's Day 2023. Siena has been hot, winning 8 of their last 9 games, including 5 straight wins at home. Fairfield has played inconsistently this year, losing 3 of their last 5 and going only .500 in conference overall, but they have managed to win their last 2 games, 1 at home and 1 on the road. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The Saints don't lose to inferior opponents. The loss to Canisius a couple of games ago was an outlier, plus it was Siena's second meeting with the Golden Griffins this season, and it was on the road. Its only other loss to a team under .500 came against Georgetown in Washington. The Saints, 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 overall, are solid from 3-point range, efficient at the foul line, and hold their own on the boards. McCollum is a dependable edge scoring guard with 8 games of 20-plus points. In the first meeting, the Stags held him to 7 points on 2 of 8 shooting, but others stepped up to lead the Saints to the victory and cover. I believe he'll play much better in this game at MVP Arena. Our team pick is Siena minus 6.5 points. Fairfield lacks the scoring options in its arsenal to run with the Saints. Their only hope is their 3-point defense, 25th best, holds Siena in check long enough to stay in the game. That won't be enough, though, to cover the spread. Marist vs Mount St. Mary's. When these teams last faced off, Marist came away with a 63-56 win at home against Mount St. Mary's, covering their +1 spread, while the game went 5.5 points under the total set at 124.5. This year, tip-off is scheduled for January 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from PNC Sports Complex, Emmitsburg, Maryland. Smelling a little upset with Marist in this one. The Red Foxes are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 road games against a team with a losing record, and Mount St. Mary's has failed to cover in 4 consecutive games. In terms of gamma play, expect Marist to outpace the Mountaineers, resulting in more possessions for Marist throughout. Marist will be given more opportunities to score, which goes along well with a struggling Mount St. Mary's offense that tends to turn the ball over. These factors make me confident in taking Marist +4 in this one. Quinnipiac Bobcats vs Canisius Golden Griffins. Quinnipiac goes for its 6th win in a row when it hosts Canisius in a Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference game. The Bobcats, 14-5, 5-3, have been idle since last Sunday when they earned a 58-51 victory at Mount St. Mary's. Canisius, 5-13, 3-6, is coming off Friday's 67-58 mock loss at Fairfield in a game the visitors trailed 32-31 at halftime. The Golden Griffins shot just 3 for 17 from 3-point range, .176. Before that loss, Canisius had won 3 of its previous 4 games. Quinnipiac has a solid defense that is allowing an average of 65.5 points per game, which is backed up by an above-average offense that is scoring 72.1 points per game. The Bobcats are holding opponents to the 43rd lowest field goal shooting percentage and the 36th lowest 3-point shooting percentage. Quinnipiac has covered the spread in 4 of its last 5 overall. Canisius struggles on offense, scoring just 68.8 points per game and is shooting just 40.2% overall, while allowing 72.9 points per game and 46.5% shooting. Our team pick is Quinnipiac minus 9.5 points. Canisius has failed to cover the spread in 2 of his last 3, and overall this season is just 8-9 at S, while Quinnipiac is 10-7-1. Rider Broncs vs Manhattan Jaspers. The Manhattan Jaspers go back on the road Sunday afternoon to Lawrenceville, New Jersey, for a game against the Rider Broncs. Manhattan comes into Sunday 5 games below .500, following an 8-point loss to Iona in overtime. Defensively, Manhattan struggled a bit as Iona scored 84 points, including 16 in overtime on 40.5% shooting, leading to Manhattan loss. Offensively, Manhattan struggled, making less than 30% of their shots and only 69.2% from the free throw line, leading to 76 points in the game after only 8 in overtime. These teams are going to play a very close game, and the spread is way too high for it to hit the way the odds makers are expecting. The Jaspers are more feisty on the defensive end of the court and should continue getting better opportunities on the fast break. Manhattan is giving up 66 points in their last 4 games, while Rider is allowing 66 points in their previous 5 games. Our team pick is Manhattan Jaspers plus 8 points. All in all, go with the Manhattan Jaspers to cover the spread on the road here. St. Peter's Peacocks vs Niagara Purple Eagles. The Niagara Purple Eagles continue a road trip Sunday afternoon with a game in Jersey City, New Jersey against the St. Peter's Peacocks. Niagara comes into Sunday riding a 4-game losing streak following a 3-point loss against Rider. Defensively, Niagara struggled as Rider scored 65 points on 46.8% shooting and knocked down 25% from beyond the arc to score 65 points after a 35-point second half. Offensively, Niagara did shoot the ball well, making 45.5% of the shots and 59.1% from beyond the arc, but turned the ball over 12 times, resulting in the loss. Niagara has dropped 4 straight meetings against St. Peter's, and I expect them to finish the job on Sunday. The defenses are similar, but the shooting for Niagara will make the difference. The Purple Eagles are outshooting the Peacocks 74.3% to 68.2% from the free throw line and 35.8% to 27.5% from 3. Our team pick is Niagara plus 2 points. St. Peter's is also just 0-7 at TS in their last 7 games when coming off an against a spread win. Is this my favorite play of the day? No. But give me Niagara here. California Golden Bears vs Oregon State Beavers. The Oregon State Beavers meander south to Berkeley to take on the Golden Bears of California. The Beavers have struggled thus far, going 7-12 on the season, and the Golden Bears have followed suit at 3-16. Although California have 4 less wins than Oregon State, the Golden Bears are 1 game ahead in the Pac-12 standings. California won both head-to-head matchups last season by a combined 10 points. The California Golden Bears have some more positive momentum entering this game, as they have won 2 of their last 5 matchups, while the Beavers haven't won a game since before the new year. This momentum difference, along with the home court advantage, will play a big role in the Golden Bears' success in this contest. Something else I believe will play a big factor is turnovers, which is something the Beavers have been killing themselves with. In their last game, the Beavers turned the ball over 17 times, while the Golden Bears gave the ball up 9 times in their last game. Our team pick is California Golden Bears minus 3.5 points. I expect turnovers by the Beavers to happen against California, allowing the Golden Bears' offense to increase the time of possession and slowly move ahead of Oregon State. Take California. Southern Methodist Mustangs vs Wichita State Shockers. The Wichita State Shockers, 9-9, 2-4 SC, will take on the SMU Mustangs, 7-12, 2-4 SC, at Moody Coliseum in Dallas, Texas, for an AAC matchup. The Shockers have won 2 of their last 5 games, but are coming off a loss, while the Mustangs have lost 4 of their last 5 matchups, but are coming off a win. 2 teams of similar caliber meet in this conference matchup, while SMU gets the advantage of being home and having some momentum coming off of a win. This game will be won inside. The Shockers just got destroyed inside by Memphis, giving up 29 and 15 to their big man DeAndre Williams. SMU has the best post player in the game. Ifeadigi is not as skilled as the Memphis frontline, but he is better than what Wichita Street has to offer. Phelps is also the best perimeter scorer in the game, averaging 5 more points than anyone on Wichita State. SMU has the best scorer and post player in the game, and that will make the difference here. The SMU Mustangs were struggling for several games, but have seemed to find their rhythm again after earning a much-needed win over the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. The Mustangs put up 79 points in the overtime win, putting an exclamation point on their losing streak. They enter this matchup with positive momentum after the thrilling win, so I expect that to play a big role in the SOC battle. In addition, the Mustangs have some scoring talent on their roster, with Phelps averaging 17.2 points per game and Adigi coming off a 22-point outing. With the successful scorers they are equipped with, I expect the Mustangs' offense to put up more points each possession. Something else that will make a difference in this contest is the ability to prevent turnovers, and for the Shockers that has been a weak point. Our team pick is Mustangs minus 1.5 points. Watch for the Shockers to turn the ball over and for the Mustangs to punish that. Houston Cougars vs Temple Owls. The Temple Owls soar into the Lone Star State to take on the top-ranked Cougars of Houston. The Owls sit at 2 games over .500 at 11-9, while the Cougars have been unmatched all season at 18-1. Houston convincingly won both head-to-head matchups last season by a combined 43 points. The Cougars sit all alone atop the American Conference at 6-0, while the Owls are tied for second with a conference record of 5-2. Although Temple are 4th in the conference based on their 5-2 conference record, their overall record of 11-9 does not give me confidence that they can play well enough to beat or cover the spread against Houston. Houston is simply the better team, and the Temple Owls lost by 11 points to Tulane recently, whereas Houston beat Tulane by 20 points. In addition, turnovers are going to be a critical factor in this game. Houston controls the pace and the ball well, while Temple will have a tough time in an unfriendly atmosphere. Our team pick is Houston minus 20 points. The Cougars have dominated every opponent by at least 10 points, except for Florida teams, so I believe they will do the same against Temple. Colorado Buffaloes vs Washington State Cougars. The Washington State Cougars continuing road trip Sunday night with a game in Boulder Company against the Colorado Buffaloes. Washington State comes into Sunday 2 games below .500, following a 14-point loss against Utah that ended a 3-game win streak. Offensively, Washington State was terrible against Utah, making only 34.4% of their shots and 26.1% from beyond the arc to score 63 total points in 40 minutes. Defensively, Washington State was obliterated as the Cougars gave up 77 points on 55.4% shooting and 40.9% from beyond the arc. The Buffaloes lack height and will struggle to contain Mauham Gay, 14.0 ppg, 8.0 rpg, in the paint. The Cougars are arguably a better offensive team than the Buffaloes, and I'm expecting the visitors to keep it close down the stretch and cover a 5-point spread. Colorado is doing a good job on the defensive end, but beating Washington State comfortably would be a tall order. The Buffaloes rank 268th in the country in turnover percentage, 19.9%, while playing at a fast pace, whereas the Cougars love to take things slowly. Our team pick is Washington State Cougars plus 5 points. The Cougars have gone 3-2 at TS in their last 5 meetings with the Buffaloes. Both teams have struggled to cover as of late, so the betting trends are not helping a lot.